stayed by the curb with you. We've been in a place where because I love you, I won't go any higher than you're ready to go. Because we did not understand love and we did not understand what God was doing. We thought that was love. We thought it was humility. Our mind had not been renewed to what God wanted to do with us. So we said, I'm so humble, I'm going to stay right here with you. Now we're to the point that we understand in this move and where God is right now. And you need to decide this morning as we're closing this, you need to decide that you want to be where God is. Now, I love you and I want you to be there with me, but I'm going where he is. Because I've come to the conclusion that you can't keep me. Can't nobody keep me but him. I know you see, because as long as I give you the clout that you can keep me, I make you a God. And in some places, I make you my God. And the Lord said, I'm jealous, and you'll have no other gods before me. So I have decided, ushers, we need you in the back. We have decided now that you have to determine who's going to be God in your life. Look at your neighbor and say, I'll still love you, but you can't be my God. Look back at somebody that you know and say, I'm even going to hang with you. As long as you go where I'm going. When you get up there in the second and third heaven, and folks that don't want no part of God, you have to make a choice whether you're going to go up with him or whether you're going to stay down with them. Now, let me tell you something. If it's someone that's assigned to you, I'll just use y'all as an example. Y'all are assigned to each other. So, therefore, if one goes and the other one chooses not to go, there'll be enough grace to pull the other one up. But as long as y'all both decide to stay down there, his grace is going to remove itself. And you won't even have grace to sustain where you used to be. I told you we're in the last days. You used to have grace for both of y'all to be mad. I'm just using y'all as an example. I'm not saying this is what's going on. Just example. You used to have grace that if both of y'all was mad, cussing and fussing, throwing stuff, y'all don't do none of that. That's just example. Cussing, fussing, no more. She said no more. She got a new attitude. Isn't it good to know what we used to do and what we don't do? I'm very sorry for people who get to a certain place in God and can't look back on something they used to do and say, I don't do that no more. I'm wondering where you are in God. Because there ought to be something you used to do when you didn't know no better. I'm talking about after you got saved. You still didn't understand some stuff after you got saved. You didn't understand Malachi the way I read it today, and you've been saved and been tithing. You didn't understand the prodigal when he said, my son is dead. Oh, you didn't understand that and then read the prodigal son 99 times. You didn't understand that the father said he was dead. That meant you could be sitting right here and dead. You didn't understand missing last week when we taught that and gave the example that our bishop had given last week when we were together of his assignment in the army and how his assigned place was the second row, the third spot. And he got there late for roll call one morning and pulled up in the rear and thought he was okay because they hadn't called the roll. But he couldn't get to his spot. And when they called for his spot, he yelled, here from the back. And the sergeant said, sorry, son, you missed it. No, Sarge, I'm here. He said, your spot is third section, second row. You didn't understand that. You didn't understand when we talked about Moses calling for the people to come together, that Moses was taking a census. Moses was saying, we can ready to go into a new land. I got to know who's with me. Only way I can know who's with me is taking the roll. When I take the roll, I got to inspect where your attitude is. I got to know where, because see, you might be sitting here but missing. Hallelujah. And I'm getting ready to fight a new level of demons. And I don't need nobody standing up here supposed to be in place, but you ain't here. I need to fill your spot because I need a real fighter. Did you hear? I need a real fighter. I'm looking for a real fighter. Now, see, under another dispensation and in times past, y'all could be throwing stuff, fighting, all of that. Grace would just come on the household, and a week later, we'd be lovey-dovey, making up in the bed. You know, we'd still be a little mad, but we'd be lovey-dovey. Grace came. You know, we'd come back to church. We'd be grinning, everything, sort of cutting our eyes, but everything would be okay. That was another dispensation. Under this dispensation, if you saved, you coming in, or grace is going out. Let me help you. God is not continuing to help you drive your car out of alignment and think it's all right. He's not going to keep paying for your gas because you won't get a tune-up. Hallelujah. That's why he's teaching change your attitude. An attitude is a tune-up. It's really an overhauling of the whole engine system. Hallelujah. And if this thing is going to run in the days that are being set ahead, we'll take it this way. You remember a few years ago, there was regular, unleaded, and diesel. Now it's nothing but unleaded and diesel. I'm sorry you still got a car that runs on regular, but you can't find the gas for it. I'm really talking to your spirit. Your spirit has not made the adjustment for that new nozzle, the unleaded nozzle, whether regular unleaded, super unleaded, or premium unleaded, is a different nozzle than the old standard gasoline. You're going to try to put unleaded in a standard tank. And what is it? It just won't work. It won't work. No, it just won't work. I could say you trying to look at high definition with a rabbit ear television. Hallelujah. And guess what? It just don't work. It just don't work. You got your rabbit ears up there with the foil on top of them.